Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lizzie Sandwich.
Welcome to the BS.
The Bowling Otter Show.
All right, well,
Hello.
it's been another one of those weeks.
And it's Super Bowl Sunday.
And it's Super Bowl Sunday.
We'll get to that later.
Yes.
At the end, because, yes, it's definitely something that needs
We
to
have
be
personal
addressed.
investment in this one, guys.
We do, just a little bit. It's been another week. How was your week?
How was it?
Did you have a good week?
It was all right.
This was our first week where you did the solo stream.
Yes.
And
The first
I
one.
wound up coming down in like the last 45 minutes
Yes,
or something
'cause
like that.
you didn't like it.
But you know what? Like, this was, I was so jealous. I was so jealous. Like, I hear you talking and I'm like watching Netflix and I was like, But then I get my own next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be streaming by myself on Twitch
Yep.
Wednesday at 8:30.
That's right.
Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll put up a video and I'll let you know. But if it's like really awkward, I'm going to text you and ask you to come down.
Okay.
And just be like, oh, let me see. Oh, is that a text or something? And I'll be like, get down here now. I'm crashing. But you did really good. Everybody said you did great.
That was fun.
A lot of you came.
We played Monster Hunter World.
Yeah,
Check that
it was
out. I got to play
cool.
with viewers. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
but
that's
where I
cool.
was going with this is it kind of messed up our recording schedule a little bit.
Sure did.
Yeah, so we have to do some readjusting. So thank you for being patient while
Yes.
we figure that out.
Yes,
because
we're getting there.
because it's certainly a new thing for us to be, if we're streaming more,
Yeah.
that takes away the day for like, recording and editing and things like that. So
Yep.
we'll figure it out.
All right, first things first. A lot of you guys probably already seen this, but there's a video of a rat showering like a human, and it's
Oh,
kind of fantastic. So,
look.
look, and you can't describe.
Rats are so brilliant. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Now, you know what?
I'm standing on
You-
2 feet.
You
Look
know
at that.
what?
Look at that.
Look! Oh my
He's
god!
good. He's got to get a little bit down here.
Gotta get
gotta
a
do
little
that.
here.
Get a little bit of chest.
You
a
know
little
what?
off here.
I'm
the
sure.
shoulder.
I feel like there's some horrific explanation on why this is sad somehow. You know how you see these videos and it's like, you know that this is a rat in distress.
Yeah.
And you're just making him miserable for your own gain.
This is what happened
for
when a
your
rat is
viral
about to
video.
die and he's just
Yes,
preparing himself for
he's
death.
got a disease. Yes, exactly.
It's called the death wash. Yeah.
Now, the only thing I did read about this, though, was that a human put the soap on him beforehand.
Oh.
And that's just him trying to get it off.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's not like he lathered himself. He's got a little pump.
So he's
Got a
like,
little
he's
soap
like,
pump.
he's like freaked out that he's like, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off,
Kind of.
get it off. Ah, get it
Kind of,
off, ah.
yeah. I would think
Well,
so.
that would be the rat in distress then that you were looking for.
Yeah.
He's actually really scared.
Well, maybe, I don't know. But he looked kind of like he was closing a little eyeball there.
He was sort of like,
was just
you
kinda-
know, while I got this on me,
You know,
might as well
if
just
if
get a
he's
little
got
cleaning.
some warm water, if you get some warm water,
Yeah.
and like they lathered it in real nice, made it like kind of, you know what I mean, relaxing.
Yeah.
And then, maybe he'd be like, yeah, just keep on, don't mind if I do, don't mind if I do. Smell a little like, he's got a little blow dryer, he's gonna be like, "Yee," combing out his whiskers. I've seen too many cartoons. Moving on.
Okay, this is a little bit of a continuation from one that we did last week, which was Amazon Go.
Right.
That's a supermarket where you don't have to use any cashiers. You just walk in, scan your phone, take what you want to buy, and leave.
Right.
And don't scan anything on the way out, nothing.
Right.
Just walk
And
out of the building.
I do have to say that it really, like the conversation that you guys were having in the comments was so interesting because a lot of you brought up some really good points. Like, what about coupons?
Yeah.
And things like that. How do you even... oh my gosh,
Maybe
the
scan them
conversation
first
was so
or something?
interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Or if it's hooked up to your Amazon Prime account, maybe if you like pre-scan.
Yeah,
your
you could
thing,
definitely set coupons
or
in your Amazon Prime account. That's right,
I
because you
don't
have to
know.
actually put money in the Prime account.
Right.
That also explains what it, I guess if you run out of money in the Prime account, they probably won't let you in.
Right.
To begin with, because they can monitor that account. They can't monitor your bank account.
Right,
So
right.
like you put that, and then like I think at that point I'm sure they'll have a coupon program.
Yeah.
Where you could put stuff in your account, and then it would know you took your stuff and know to apply your coupons.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that just from the comments that I did read, that it seemed like all of you were very into it. Like you could see yourself doing it. There
Yeah.
wasn't anybody who was like, oh, that's wrong. I want to keep it how it is.
No, I
So
mean-
it's interesting that you guys have a progressive point of view towards, doing this. A lot of you were worried about jobs, taking jobs away from
I'm worried
actual
about that.
human beings.
I'm worried about that. But you know
And,
what? I mean, everything's
yeah.
getting automated anyway. This is just kind of, this is what was going to happen.
know,
But
I
they need
know.
people to work behind the scenes on that
Well,
stuff.
that's why we
you know?
need to really
They're gonna
take
need more
care of
people in, like
everybody.
network operation centers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's
that's
going to be way
true.
more people hired for that industry.
Yeah, it'll like people.
Telecom's going to explode.
Right.
I mean, like it already has, but
It will take people a culture longer to shift gears than the tech. It will take the technology to shift gears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the technology will be, on third base, and people will be on first. Like, I think we should change our majors. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And they're like, we need you.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I think everybody.
yeah,
just,
if you're like not sure what to major in, do something telecommunications because there will
right.
be jobs.
Yeah,
It's-
and then that's like people like coal miners, and then they're trying to get programs to get them retrained to work in solar energy. So this way they just kind of shift their focus,
Yeah.
where they're still in energy and they're still kind of doing that kind of thing. So maybe that's what we need to be doing. I don't know, but it really is a concern to.
Yeah, there's a lot of
get rid of the
concerns,
cashier.
and this concern in particular was kind of interesting. I didn't watch. I saw a little bit of this video and stopped it. I wanted to wait until now to watch the whole thing. Let's see, hasn't seen
Okay.
it at all.
Yeah, I
but
don't
this
know.
happened the same day that we actually posted the other one. It was a video from Engadget, which took a really different angle on this than I had expected, and we'll play it now.
Okay, I have no idea what this is.
After 5 years of development and another year of testing delays, Amazon's cashierless supermarket has finally opened for business. Located in the company's Seattle HQ building, Amazon Go relies on a sophisticated
Hole?
array of motion tracking cameras to create what it calls just walkout shopping. Amazon employees will scan their phones at a turnstile in the entryway, walk through the store, selecting whatever they please, including alcohol, and then simply walk out.
Alcohol too.
The store's various sensors recognize what each person selects from the shelves and automatically debits their credit accounts. It's being hailed as the future of shopping, but like most cash-free setups, comes with some racist and classist undertones.
Yeah.
A high-tech convenience seemingly designed for the benefit of the wealthy and white. To start, the shopping experience demands that customers have access to both a smartphone and a checking account. Only 77% of Americans have smartphones, with blacks, Hispanics, and folks making less than $50,000 a year lagging well behind the national average.
Wow.
Then there's the fact that roughly 25% of African American and Latino households do not have access to checking accounts, compared to less than 5% of non-Hispanic whites. What's more, Slate magazine has already confirmed that Amazon Go does not accept food stamps or other government-subsidized grocery programs, so if you're a member of the working poor, well, you're SOL. Though this shouldn't prove to be too much of an impediment to Amazon's workforce, the store's initial test population, as nearly 2/3 of which consisted of white men in 2017. We'll see you tomorrow with more Engadget Today.
Interesting.
See, I'm really conflicted
Interesting.
about this.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not even sure why, to be honest. But I'm like, I feel at first I was like, what? Like I felt like, man, that's a reach. But like if you look at the comments, they all think it's a reach.
To say that it could be racist.
To say that it was racist or classist. I think the
it
mistake.
has a big argument for being classist.
It does. It's certainly classist.
Yeah.
Racist just kind of goes along with that.
Well, if
but
they
it's
only
not going
tested
out of
it-
its way, like to say it's racist. I feel like.
Well,
but,
if they were testing it on Amazon corporate employees, the vast majority of which were white men, they wouldn't have the.
But I still feel like the
know?
racism angle in it is kind of incidental.
Okay, I see what you're
It's really a
saying.
class problem
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Because they tested wealthy people.
Right.
You know, which there happens to be a class problem when it comes to the wealth right now.
Yeah.
But like that. This isn't targeting a race, you know. It's targeting a class,
Right.
And that incidentally has some other backfiring. But it's the more I think about it, the more I agree with it, because I think the biggest problem I can think of here, it's not just like, oh, only rich people can use this utility. That's true for a lot of things, whatever. But making it something as necessary and common as grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And the scary part is if this really catches on and becomes very widespread,
Right.
suddenly a lot of people will have a lot less options to go grocery shopping.
Right. But then they'll be forced to get a smartphone.
Well, not just
Or
that.
something like
You'll
that,
really
so
be
that they can get in
segregating
there.
a lot of people too. Suddenly,
You
like everybody,
would.
like middle class and up, will just start go to these grocery stores, and everybody else will go to these grocery stores.
Even that's already starting to happen.
It is already starting to happen
You
a
know,
little
do
bit.
you guys have that where you are, where there's like the really super duper high end grocery stores, and
Yeah.
then like the lower end? Not so much lower end, but it would be like the food that looks funny. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like the produce that's not so pretty or
I
slightly
mean, to
inspired.
some degree, it's a good thing those places exist.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it gives more options to people. But
Yeah.
but if those stores happen to adopt this kind of technology for some reason, then that would cut out the people that mainly went to them. I mean, it's
Right.
really difficult to forecast, because at the same time, smartphones are going to continue to become cheaper and cheaper and more affordable. So I think like in another 5 years, there's going to be some smartphones that will qualify for this technology that are going to be way cheaper.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
pretty much everybody will be able to afford them because the people that don't have smartphones now do have cell phones. They just have flip phones. At some point, there's just not going to be any more flip phones. Everything will be a smartphone.
Right.
So that technology might take care of itself, and that would take out a huge chunk of the issue here.
Right.
But there's one open right now. So I guess it's like
know.
we're not there yet. You know, that'll eventually catch up.
Wow. That's totally
But
interesting,
look at
though.
the like and dislike ratio on this video.
Oh,
4,000 down, 343 up. That's one of the worst like
that's
and dislike
pretty
ratios
bad.
I have ever seen.
Yeah, that's a really
That's
good
one of the
point.
worst.
Wow, a lot to think about. That's
It is. It's
I don't know.
Part of me still feels like it's getting ahead of itself.
Maybe.
Cart before the horse.
Yeah.
And like it does kind of, I hate to say this, it kind of stinks of somebody wanting to find something to dislike about this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
There's always that.
Yeah, it feels like that a little
and
bit too
that
much.
tends to be one of the first arguments.
Yeah.
That because it's really, really sensitive out there right now.
Oh yeah.
In the United States.
Yes.
Everywhere, really. And really everybody is just on this like heightened alert.
Yeah. We're at the point where people
What
don't really know
is
what's okay and
racist
what's not
classist-
okay right now.
Everybody's fuses are like super duper short. So I could see why, because to tell you the truth, a lot of it is rooted in truth.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I see what you're saying, where it certainly, you know.
And it's not like what he said wasn't true.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
it's just it seems so incidental.
It
And
does.
I think it's the way it's presented. I feel like he's making it sound like Amazon specifically wanted to screw these people.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I don't think so. Amazon wanted to like do a technological revolution that happens to be expensive to pull off.
Right.
And that does cut other people out, but they didn't go in intending to do that. That seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the angle that gets me the wrong way on this. I feel like it's a different conversation altogether. Like this headline, it's Amazon's first cashierless Go supermarket opens for business. That is definitely not the main point that video was making. So that's totally deflecting. They're pretending it's not in there. The whole video ended up being about that. And like, so it feels more like they want to just get a jab in. I don't know. I mean, yes, there are problems that technology is going to continue to create.
Sure.
And this is part of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we necessarily have to be like, well, Amazon is now demons for doing this. I'm not sure. But they might be.
I do
I'm
worry.
totally not sure.
I do worry about Amazon getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And they
bigger
don't
and
pay
bigger.
anybody anything. Like apparently they're really bad with paying their
I heard
employees.
they're really terrible to work for. Do any of you work
For
for
work-
Amazon?
yeah, so
or
it's
know
like-
anybody who works for Amazon?
That's bad. If you got a company that treats workers like that, that's getting huge.
Yeah,
That's
especially
scary.
how they're having cities like court them for their new
Yeah,
headquarters.
that's kinda
they're
weird.
Like they're like it's like
Philly's
a
on that
king.
list, too.
Yeah,
You
like
know, I
it's
mean, they're not
like,
gonna get it, but-
right. It's like they're like a king, and they're
Yeah.
like, tell us why we should, you know.
Could you imagine though if
open a
for some reason they
headquarters in
wanted
your
to pick
city?
Philly, Comcast would freak out.
Yeah, we've got a big Comcast.
Because
thing
Comcast,
here.
like, it's totally, it's headquartered
Everybody
in
works
Philly.
for
Yeah,
Comcast.
everybody works for Comcast
Everybody
around
works
here.
for Comcast around here. Yeah, Comcast and Merck.
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing, another thing that we talked about last week, another interesting conversation that we had was about Larry Nasser,
Yeah.
the gymnastics coach that molested his patients,
Yeah.
and who
His
were
doctor,
Olympic gymnasts.
yeah.
Yes, his doctor, and that was that was some really interesting conversation as well that you guys had in the
Yeah,
comments.
great conversation in the comments.
A lot of you really were like what we were talking about, like empathy and trying to understand, you know, what his life must be like and what
Larry
everybody's
Nasser,
life,
yeah,
Larry Nasser,
yeah.
what everybody's life should be like, and
Trying to
everything.
separate excusing it with giving a reason for it.
Yeah, and a lot of you were really, really understanding. But in the spirit of being empathetic to everybody, this guy is the father of 3 daughters, all of which were molested by Larry Nasser. And this video has been going viral all day. It's Friday at the time we're recording this, and I've seen it being like passed around all day, all
Yeah.
over Twitter.
Yeah.
And they're at the sentencing, I believe, for Larry Nasser.
The second
and just
one, I think.
Just a warning, you know, it's
This
very,
happened
very
this
heavy.
morning.
This happened this morning, yeah. So this is him with Nasser.
No, we don't want to swear. We don't want to have profanity. I can't imagine
Look at
the
their
anger
faces.
and the anxiety and the feeling of wanting retribution. And if you need to say something to help you, I'm more than willing to let you say something. But in a courtroom, we don't use profanity, but if you have some words that you would like to say, I would like to give you the opportunity to say
I
them.
would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have a
Would you do
feeling,
that?
that is not how
Yes or
our.
no?
No, sir, I can't
Would you
do
give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal
Well,
system
I'm gonna
works.
have to.
Look at that. You know, like, can you even like?
Yeah.
It
Okay,
makes
we can
me,
stop
yeah.
it now.
It
Stop
makes me like it's just them like struggling for the
Yeah,
rest
there's
of the
nothing
thing
else
and them
to
taking
see
him away.
there.
But you know what? That gives me like a lump in my throat.
Yeah, there's just, I mean,
Because can you imagine having 3 daughters and all of them knowing that they're all molested by a guy that's standing 10 feet away from you?
yeah.
You know? And 5
I saw
minutes
one person,
in a
only
locked
one
room.
person, but one person, very early on when this was first being reported, I'm sure they like, shut up now, replied, just be like, that guy should have some self-control. And like, blah, and it's like, come
Hey.
on, dude. Like, nobody
You know.
can tell me that you know what that's got to feel like to be that man. You
All
can't.
of your daughters.
It's so easy to
know?
just sit there and be like, he should have controlled himself. It's like, you have no idea. I mean, I
know.
don't. Yeah, I
Have
could
you
say
been in
that,
that
but that means
situation?
nothing coming from me. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I
can't even imagine. I
I
can't even
know.
imagine.
I can't.
You're looking at the
like-
guy. He's in the same room as
Yeah.
you. You know, how long have you known that this happened? You know,
Yeah.
how long have you been stewing in this?
Yeah.
And then you're finally right there face to face with him for the first time, only time, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, like, maybe he has seen it before, but since knowing that happened, I'm sure this is
But,
the
like,
only time.
For him to say, as part of his sentencing, I want 5 minutes alone in a locked
In a
room.
locked room.
I feel like he'd kill him.
He would have killed him.
You know what I mean? Like, really?
He probably would have killed him. I mean, like
that was a scary
maybe not
look on
maybe
his
not
face.
intentionally, but I feel like that's certainly a possible outcome. You know,
Yeah.
for him to have ended up dead after that. But that, yeah, I mean, yeah, you see him. He was determined. I mean, he had to know that if he was going to do this, if he was going to charge at him, that he had maybe a shot to hit him once.
Maybe. And he took the chance.
And he took the chance. He's like, this is probably my only chance. You know, maybe, you know what, maybe he needed that to live with himself. Maybe he can leave going like, I tried.
Yeah.
And I got tackled, and of course I got tackled
You
because what I
know-
was going to do was wrong.
Yeah.
And there's good people stopping me from making things worse. But
Do you think he got punished for this? Like, had to pay a fine
don't
or
think so.
something?
I'll bet not.
That would be the crappiest thing.
I'd be surprised.
You think so?
I don't know that for sure, though. I mean, I haven't looked it up. I know that there's a lot of people on Twitter already that have just been retweeting this and tweeting around and all saying, like, I'll pay this guy's bail.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So, like, even if they charge him with anything, he wouldn't have to pay a cent.
Yeah.
You know, if he wanted to take anybody's help.
Right.
But, like, it's...
What do you think, and what do you guys think of using, like, do you agree with that possibly being a form of sentencing? Because they used to do it, you know what I mean?
That's
where
cruel
they
and
let you
unusual
just-
punishment.
Yeah.
That's totally unconstitutional.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
That's outside the realms of taste. That's not what you do in a
Just
civilized
kinda
world. You don't
have
be
to
like,
respect the
you know, there's no
process.
more stoning. Like, that doesn't happen anymore.
Right, but I understand it.
Oh, I totally understand it. I
could
understand his desire to do
understand
that, but absolutely no,
all
you can't
of them.
actually do it.
I just
You can't actually do it.
I really, really hope that he finds an outlet for this anger somehow.
Yeah.
Like if he's at like he needs a punching bag status.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
a physical
he needs-
build in there
Yes,
that
he
needs to
needs
get
to
out.
really beat something. I know
Yeah.
that sounds like it's kind of weird, but
No,
he
but totally.
does. He needs like a punching bag, you know,
Yeah.
to just kind of get that out because you're right. He's exploding.
Yeah.
He's exploding.
Yeah.
And
that
I
could come out. I
just-
mean,
oh,
that's actually
man.
healthy for him something because that kind of like anger and tension can come out in really bad
Oh,
ways if you
yeah.
don't get it out.
Yeah,
so
it
you
shoots
really
out
do
at
hope
different
that
times.
He tell me he
different
it's something
ways.
maybe in some way he would say something to somebody. I mean, like who
Yeah.
knows? But
I hope they're all able to. I mean, this whole thing has just been horrific. And the comments, again, I know I keep bringing up the comments, but it was so interesting.
Yeah.
And some of you are from Michigan, and we're talking about how this whole thing has rocked MSU.
yeah,
And-
it's a big deal school.
Yeah,
and like,
and I can't imagine, and especially, you know, a lot of people who have gone through like some kind of sexual abuse or everything. This is really like dredging up a lot of emotions for a lot of people, this whole story.
We're really closer to it than we think because we are from Philly.
Yeah.
And while Penn State is in Philly.
I brought that up in the comments.
Yeah, but there's
I
Penn
said
State,
we're Penn State.
not very different. You know, there was a predator. And they didn't clean him out. They didn't take care of him. So now you're seeing rippling through the Michigan State University too. They had to make the
clear
board
everybody
resign.
out.
Yeah. They just got rid of everybody. So like it's,
them all out.
yeah, this kind of thing didn't happen that long ago in our state.
Yeah.
So
it's still a really
it's
sore
still
point.
resonating.
It's
That's
so
going to
sore.
resonate for a long time. So Michigan's going to feel this for a long time.
Yeah.
And this actually rippled into the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother layer.
Yeah.
You know, that
Oh
was
my God.
And not only
How
a
that
gold
happened,
medal
yeah.
winning Olympic team, several gold medal winning
Oh my
Olympic
gosh,
teams.
yeah. They
So
were like the
US
heroes.
Olympics are huge. So for this guy to
Yeah.
be directly involved with pretty much every single one of them, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
It is.
we could talk about this guy for a while.
Your
again, but-
your three daughters.
Yeah,
we're 15 months into one
into
boy.
one son.
Into
Yeah.
one boy.
Yeah, and already
that,
I'm just like, I have no idea what
and
that
that
would
is
be like.
excruciating.
Yeah, it's
That's
excruciating.
I can't even. Ugh. Okay, so that brings us to the subreddit of the week, which we thought would be uplifting news.
We can follow this wonderful
because
discussion.
It was just like horror and horror.
Yeah.
So uplifting news.
Ugh.
But what brought me to this subreddit today was I just read that said people are spending 50 million fewer hours on Facebook a day.
Wow.
There were tons of people who dropped Facebook this year.
Yeah.
It dropped it in 2017.
Yep.
Were you guys one of those people?
Yeah.
I am not on Facebook at all.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, I have the account and
Yeah.
everything, but ever since the election and everything after that and before the election, actually, it just got really, really nuts and really overwhelming. But they asked a lot of people why they closed their Facebook accounts. And to tell you the truth, I suspect that I may drop it because they said most people became inactive and then they dropped it. But I use it to keep in touch with my family. Like my parents aren't on Facebook. So they'll say like, Liz, can you go check on your cousin or whatever and ask her for mom, da-da-da. And I go, yeah.
You're like the liaison.
And I go,
then, yeah.
right. And that's how I do it. I suppose I could just get their phone numbers, you know, and like a
talk
human
to them the
being.
old-fashioned
I
way.
know.
Yeah.
But still, you know, and then they'll say like, oh, well, what's so-and-so up to? And I'll be like, oh, she got a car and, you know, and they're like, oh. So I fill them in on everybody else's news too. But a lot of people wound up leaving their accounts dormant and then closing them. But they asked them why they were closing them. And they said politics. And especially the bots, because we know that now there's a lot of bots on Facebook, and it's like that on Twitter as well. But yeah, what do you think? Did you leave Facebook? You're on Facebook a good bit more than I am.
Not using it like for social media necessarily though. I'm using it in the like I go to Facebook almost completely for almost exclusively for just audio engineering nerd stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
follow a few mixing engineer stuff and production stuff and some forums for some software I use. And people post about it and talk about the software, and we talk about audio engineering, just BS about that. So I am on it a lot of the day just in those forums. But the only other things I'll post about like to my feed, I generally stuff about like the Flyers, like hockey, stuff like that. If there's like a video game every now and then or something that's like something that's pertinent to my group of friends that's on Facebook.
Yeah, somebody tagged you and I recently just for an exhibit, a video game exhibit around here.
Yeah.
So they tagged us and we were like,
so that
hey.
gave us a reason to go to Facebook for a second.
Right.
But I had stopped using it for pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
And I actually, years ago, I did actually delete my account.
You did.
Completely. I was like, you know what? Never mind Facebook. I don't need Facebook. I said it was too noisy. There's so much negative stuff on there. I just don't need to see this all the time.
Yeah.
And I decided to stop going on. I'll tell you what. I loved it.
Yeah,
it
you
was
did.
great.
You did.
And I went back.
You did.
Because the bass player / singer for my band complained that he had to do all the promoting for our shows. Because
oh, that's right. I remember.
That's the only way that you can
Yes.
promote these days. If you're in a band, you got to use social media or your friends don't know you're playing.
I forgot that happened.
So who are you going to tell otherwise? It's
Yeah.
like, what am I going to say anything? So you got to be on Facebook for that. And I did feel bad that he was the only one doing it because our other guitar player was never on Facebook. Our drummer was never on Facebook. So
It's
just two
you
of us,
two.
and then I left. So he's like, come on, I'm going to do this all myself. So yeah, I made a account, went back on, and I started from scratch. with like all new pictures, all new friends list, and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. And I just don't really use it
Yeah.
for anything other than, and honestly, if those conversations were on other forums, and they are, I go to those too. But if those particular pages
Yeah,
were on
yeah.
other forums, I would go to them instead.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't go to Facebook for the social media experience.
Yeah.
Kind of
I do
thing.
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
And like the thing is, it's interesting you mentioned about the bots because it's now reached a point where you're not even 100% sure if you're talking to like real people.
you don't know.
So
Yeah.
that completely
It's
takes
creepy.
the
It's creepy.
the point of it out.
Yeah.
And like unless
Right.
they really nip that in the bud and they really like, actually, unless they attract a whole new generation,
Yeah.
it's gonna die.
I just saw that there was an article up.
MySpace.
Yeah.
We've been through this.
I just saw that there was an article up that said the New York Times reported that there were all of these bots on Twitter. And the day it came out, the article came out, or the day after, about like hundreds of thousands of accounts got deleted
right
off
away.
of Twitter right
Yeah.
away. So they were like, oh, well, there goes the bots.
They found them, yeah.
They found the bots, or they
Yeah.
took out a big chunk of the bots. So it's scary out there.
It's
like
weird
you've
out there,
really
yeah.
got to.
And those problems aren't specific to Facebook, but I
Yeah.
think Twitter. Something about it is a little bit easier with controlling traffic to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's you've got to be careful not to create an echo chamber for yourself.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
that's really easy and that doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, look around.
But
Look
it's
around.
it's I don't know. It's a very strange thing. But I
Yeah.
definitely but that's the
That
reason
is
why that would be up
uplifting.
there as
That is
uplifting. It's a good thing for
yes.
people to be on social media less.
Something else that is
general.
nice here. After filing for bankruptcy in 2013, Detroit has had 3 consecutive years with a balanced budget and ended 2017 with a 53.8 million surplus.
Detroit.
That is amazing.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. They were like, oh my
That
God.
was a
like,
huge story.
Detroit was like on my mind.
Yeah.
I still have Flint on my mind. If
Flint.
any of you are from and around the area, how are you? But the
Michigan's getting Michigan.
yeah,
Larry
Michigan.
Nasser.
Yeah, Larry, poor
Michigan right now.
Oh my God, are any of you
Wow,
from
what
Michigan?
a decade you guys are having.
Oh man, I didn't
jeez.
even think about that. Wow.
Yeah, but the fact that Detroit straight up went bankrupt. That
Wow.
was, I mean, they used to be the auto capital of the world. I mean, at least the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And like, it's, man,
Yeah.
has fallen a long way. It's good to see that they're
Really?
on the up and up at this point.
Really?
Maybe they'll get Amazon.
Yeah.
Are they still in the running?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
They could use it. Okay, so we're recording this on Friday, February 2nd. Today is Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
So
for
we
us,
need to
Super Bowl
discuss
Sunday for you.
Groundhog Day. Yes, right now. So if you're not from the States, we have this really weird custom, Groundhog Day, where you take a groundhog out of his house, which in this case is a tree stump called Gobbler's Knob.
Gobbler's
And
Knob.
it's in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And they pull Punxsutawney Phil out of the stump.
Oh, now they're calling it Punksy Phil. When did that happen?
Oh, Punksy. Yeah, that's what you call him, Punksy.
Punksy, I didn't know that.
Now,
I was always knew it was Punxsutawney Phil.
and then if he sees his shadow, you get another 6 weeks of winter. And if he doesn't see his shadow, then, hey, springtime. So he always sees his shadow. Because, like, there's lights, so it's sunshine, he's got a shadow. Is the sun up, he's got a shadow. I don't think it's ever happened where it's like, hey, I don't see it. Hey!
I know, I can't think of it.
Anyway, it
I'm
is
sure there's
the
a wiki on there
weirdest-
somewhere. But like,
It is the weirdest thing in the world.
It's weird.
And
It's weird.
I went once.
yeah, Lissy went. I never
went.
had any.
So, like, look at this amazing celebration that they have going on here. Look at this.
It's raining.
It's raining. It's probably about 5:30 in the morning, but this is what everybody does. It's in the middle of this big field, right, in Punxsutawney, and everybody's really cold, and they pitch tents or sleep in their cars, and everybody drinks all night and is really, really hammered. So then around like 5:30, they start doing this crap. And everybody goes out there and they watch everybody, look how freezing everybody is. And they watch them pull the groundhog out of the thing. But why would you not want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go see this?
When I
Why
think of
would
like
you not be
Punxsutawney,
interested?
Pennsylvania, I think of like The Office. That's Scranton.
Yeah.
But like I'm thinking of that kind of like.
There is
That's a little
nothing
farther out there.
Are
Yeah, there's
any of you
nothing
from this
happening
area?
out there.
But you know what I thought was really cool?
What?
Punxsutawney Phil lives in a big plastic bubble type thing in their library,
Yeah.
in their public library. So you could go visit him and you go check him out and he's just chilling there, whatever. So let's get to the big moment over here.
Yeah.
Ladies and jelly spoons, look, here's his little thing. Here's his little stump. And they all dress like gentlemen, looking top hats and stuff. And it's this big thing. Like they read something from a scroll. Like it shall be decreed that Punxsutawney Phil. Yeah, look at them. All right, where is he? Hold on, let's see.
They're going to be doing this forever.
Look at this.
This is going to keep going forever.
Is this not the weirdest? But everybody is just like really.
This is like the pride of
hungover
Punxsutawney, you know?
Or drunk. I was like, you know what? I want to do it once. I was working out there for a little bit, and we went, and it was like, you know, like when you're camping and it's freezing, and you're like, oh my god, I just really want to go home. Like, can we leave? And you kind of start going through that in your head, you know? I was there. Look at the little door. Look at the little door. Does he come home and take out his little keys? He jingles his little keys and opens up his door, and he's like, oh, Myrtle, the door's stuck again. Looks like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Are they just like...
Introducing everybody? Come on, let's take him out. Let's take him out. Oh, he's still talking.
What is that?
Oh, I think
there
they
he
have to, like, call him to get him out. Let's see. Here we go.
You have to call him?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Hey, Phil.
Oh, my God. Yeah, look, they've got a, like, rat-a-tat-tat on the door. Hey,
Secret
Phil.
passcode.
It's got a little, the little eye.
And it doesn't say anything when it's right. It just
Yeah,
closes it. He opens the door.
right. What's a pass, boy? Gobbler's knob.
Punxsy Phil.
Punxsy.
Shadow.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What's the look on his face when they pull him out? I'm really excited. I didn't see this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh my god, that poor guy! Look at him! What is he?
Look at his toes are like, ah!
He is like having the shock of his life. Can you imagine being pulled out of your house and held
Yeah,
up?
it's like, what? Huh? He was probably sleeping. Like, what?
He
What's
was
going on?
probably sleep. Oh, I kind of love him.
I do want to pet him really
I
bad
know,
right now.
I know, me too. But yes, so that is our Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And it is the weirdest.
He saw a shadow.
Yeah. Are any of you from around that area? It's very, very beautiful. I know that made it sound like there's like really
Look at
nothing
everybody
out
crying around
there.
him.
But it's very, very
You see a
pretty.
shadow? Anybody see a shadow?
Really? They're like deciding? Is that what they're doing?
They're the Groundhog board.
The board, the Groundhog board. They have to come to a consensus. They've got to go in a room and vote.
Parliament.
Yeah,
Yes.
Parliament. Oh my goodness gracious! Look at him, you guys. Look how cute he is. Oh my gosh. All right. But
yeah,
it's very, very pretty.
Yes.
Punxsutawney and
Oh,
the whole
imagine
surrounding
this.
area.
I mean,
It is
Pennsylvania
beautiful.
in
Look at the
general
little scroll
out
in
there.
between two sticks. Look at that. He unrolled a little thingy. Anyway.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Pennsylvania in general in that area is beautiful.
Oh my gosh,
because
it's
the
so
mountains
pretty.
are starting. You get close to the
It
Poconos.
really is. It's beautiful.
really hilly. Like the horizon always looks amazing.
Right. It's just cold.
It's very cold.
And this is very like random.
Yes.
You know what I
Stuff
mean?
like this
So
happens.
random.
And like this just kind of, I mean, I don't know. Does everybody in the country know about this? Or is it just Pennsylvania?
I don't know. But everybody
wait,
knows
Groundhog
Day,
Day.
the movie.
Groundhog Day is
Everybody
a
knows the
movie,
movie,
yeah.
But I don't know if it's as big a thing everywhere else as it is here, I guess. I mean, they just report it on the news in the morning and people go like, hey, it's Groundhog Day, and then that's it.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
it
wonder if it
doesn't
gets
really
reported anywhere
go.
else.
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of what it
Punxsutawney.
is. Well, yeah,
Punxsutawney.
but they report it in Philly, you know?
Yeah.
And they report it where we are. Do they report it like in like California? They report Groundhog Day?
Let us know if you're
That's
in
what I'm
California.
curious. Yes. Okay, so for you guys right now, it is Super Bowl Sunday. For us, it's 2 days before Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
So we're particularly invested in this one because this is our team.
We're from Philly.
We're from Philly. This is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a big deal because the Eagles still haven't won a Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
They won a championship before
It's
they started
crazy.
Super Bowl one, but that was like ever since they started
Right.
Super Bowl era, they've never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And in our lifetime, we've already been to one.
Yeah.
In 2005,
Right.
Eagles
right.
got there with McNabb and T.O.
Yeah.
And they played Tom Brady and the Patriots, and Brady beat them 24-1, 24-21.
Yeah, that's
By
I can't
3
believe you remember
points.
that.
Only because it's been everywhere
Wow.
recently.
Oh, okay.
But everybody in this area
Like-
had parties.
Oh
I
my
mean, had
gosh.
huge events,
was
and everybody was
crazy.
crushed
Yeah.
that it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about McNabb throwing up in the huddle.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that whole
yeah,
thing? There's
that's
all
right,
sorts of crazy
that's right.
controversies about it.
Oh my gosh.
and that drove
that's
McNabb
right.
out of town after that.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically.
That's true.
And
they did.
and now we got this season was huge because we have Carson Wentz, who's suddenly the savior.
Yeah.
They're way better than they're supposed to be, and then he got hurt.
And they got hurt.
And then now the backup just beat the crap out of the Vikings to get
Yeah.
here. So now this is like rekindled in the city.
I know.
And everything's crazy about Super Bowl Sunday this time because, oh my God, it's the Eagles versus Tom Brady and the Patriots again.
Yeah, I know.
Again.
I know. With Justin Timberlake.
With Justin Timberlake doing the halftime show
Yes,
again. And
it's
last time was
totally
Nipplegate.
bizarre. Yes.
So what's going to happen?
Okay. I wonder if she's going to show up and they're going to pull out the other boobie
Yeah,
or
maybe,
something like that.
maybe.
Be like,
Nipplegate
and
number
this
2?
one, and this one. And door number
Yes.
1, no number 2. But I was in the city today and I was expecting to see all kinds of signs and things like that. And it was fairly normal. I saw one guy with a green beard.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey. And then surprisingly, there's a lot of signs that say, like, don't drink and drive. Don't
Yeah,
be like
yeah.
on the way
guys,
into the
take
city,
it
on the
easy.
way
Yeah.
out. Like really tons of like be careful, celebrate responsibly.
They had to grease the poles.
I think like the city thinks really no matter what happens, the people are just gonna lose their minds.
They will, but I mean,
Yeah.
because it already happened. The NFC Championship when they won that, they didn't like riot, but like they were out there putting Crisco on the poles so that people
Yeah.
wouldn't climb
People
them,
got up there
and they did
anyway.
anyway.
I know.
But like I'm a little afraid they celebrated, but nothing crazy happened.
Right.
But if they win the Super Bowl or they lose the Super Bowl,
Right.
no matter what happens, it's going to be ugly in the city
I
probably.
know.
But like
I
I
just
saw
really
last
hope
time we
they
went
win.
grocery shopping, we walked in the grocery store. We were leaving with what we had, and I saw a guy coming in with an Eagles hat, an Eagles sweatshirt, and like an Eagles like bag or something like that. Like
right,
everything just
like,
dressed head to toe in Eagles, just
completely
walking
covered.
completely stone faced, just like
Yeah,
just completely covered in Eagles gear. And there's been a lot of people dressed like that recently.
that's a good
There's been
point.
cars with like multiple Eagles flags hanging out the windows. Like
Yeah.
everybody's going hard
People
on
are
this.
pumped.
But yeah, so
I
you guys,
know.
depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching it when it went up, the game wouldn't have started yet.
Yeah.
So we have a serious rooting interest in this. I'm sorry if
keep
any of you
us
guys are
in your
Patriots
thoughts.
fans.
Yes.
And believe me, I understand that Tom Brady is probably the best quarterback of all time.
Yes,
And the fact that we're still
absolutely.
watching him playing at such a high level is kind of a miracle and it's
Yeah.
amazing. But
Yeah.
I do not want him to win this game. I really want who roots
know.
for Tom Brady these days anyway, unless you're from New England.
I know. That's
Nobody.
true. Well, they have every right to vote for him. They'd be thrilled.
Yes.
You know what I
New
mean?
England should be. Yeah, they're a home team.
They should absolutely be.
But the rest of the
thrilled.
country seems to be behind the Eagles in this
No.
one.
And then you know
it does
what's
seem like the
messing me
country
up?
versus New England
They're
right
doing
now.
like in all the zoos, they're like, here's Fiona the hippo. Remember Fiona the hippo? That's in the wedding picture where they asked Fiona who was going to win. They put up like an Eagles sign and a Patriots sign, and she went over to the Eagles. But then April the giraffe went over to the
went over
Patriots.
to the Patriots.
So
Scandal.
now it's all like,
Now
woo,
it's-
the animals.
Yes.
You know?
Even the animals are at war.
But I just, I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
nervous as hell.
I know. And
like,
you know what? Like-
and I'm not as big on football. I'm a much bigger Flyers fan.
Yeah.
Like if the Flyers go to the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm going to lose my mind.
You know what's interesting?
Ever in my lifetime, some
I
point.
know.
Okay,
But yeah,
maybe.
me too. I always loved hockey. I really, really have always loved hockey. And although before, I have a weird relationship with football. I can't believe I'm going to tell you this, but anyway, because guess what? We're friends. Where I think I told you this. Before I met you, I dated somebody that I got set up with. I was like single for like a really long time, and people were starting to like get nervous and like set me up with people, right? So somebody who I went out with was obsessed with football. Like every time we had to go out, we had to go to a bar, we had to go watch football. We had to go watch
Yeah.
the college games. Like, oh, there's this high school player over here. I want to go take a look at that. And wasn't in the sports industry, wasn't in sports business
Just
or
hobby.
anything. Just hobby. But you know what? I like the action of watching a game in a bar.
Yeah, it's a really fun social event.
Yes, I like the social event of it, but I watched so much football in that like 4-month period
Yeah.
that I'm so footballed out, and it's like 10 years later.
That is funny because I mean, like, we don't watch much sports
Oh,
at home.
I'm so, like,
I go to as many Flyers games as I can. They're not that cheap, and it's you only have so much time.
Yeah.
But like,
I
it's
do like hockey though.
Yeah, I love hockey,
do like
and
hockey,
and
yeah.
when the Flyers, if the playoffs happen, I like to watch the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I can get by without watching a lot of other games. But football is a short season,
Mm-hmm.
so for me, for like years, it was like I just would watch football games. It's one Sunday a week for a
Right.
short season. It's not
And
this
your dad's
huge
a big
dedication
football
of
guy.
time. Yeah,
Your dad's a big football
yeah,
guy.
it's not like trying to watch a whole baseball season or
Yeah,
hockey
yeah.
season or like that go on forever.
Yeah.
And like a football's like boom, 16 weeks, we're done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's exciting, especially playoffs. But yeah, my dad's big into football and he's very smart with football, so watching
Yeah.
with him was always really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it would come on with us, even if we go to put on like one game in the season, you were like completely turned off right away.
Man.
I was always like, wow, we haven't like watched any of this.
Oh
like,
my God, gone. I just check out. It's like I've got like this like Pavlov type of response where I'm just kind of like, football's on. Bzz. So, and I just kind of, but something like this, I will try my hardest.
Well, we're
really
watch the
pay
Super Bowl.
attention.
We're definitely going to watch the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh, of course,
Yeah,
of course. And the commercials are great. And then we get Justin Timberlake and all that stuff.
And
so
it gives us an excuse to get together and, sit down and watch a game. So.
Of course, yeah. I'll always watch the Super Bowl, really. But just like the regular Sunday, like, hey, because like, oh my God, it was like all day. Yeah. All weekend. And you start drinking at like noon.
Yeah, they were long drinking days.
And then like you want to go to bed and it's like 6:15.
Game doesn't start till like 8 or something.
And you're all bloated and you're like full of wings.
Yeah, 11 o'clock and they're like in overtime and it's like like you're just like totally done with it. I remember going to luckily we live like really close to the sports complex.
Yeah, we do.
So it's really easy for us to get in there, fortunately. And I remember before that I remember going to a bar across from the stadium because that's what you do.
Yeah, of course.
Most of us can't afford to go to the game, or the tickets are super expensive. So you go to a bar close by, and when they're showing it, they have all these crazy events going on. And I went to one bar, and I'm trying to remember what bar it was, but it had these beer towers.
Oh God!
Where like they had like
with
taps.
The big,
At the end there, they had like a couple taps, and they would they had this tower of beer, and that would be a product. You go like, we're gonna buy the beer tower, and and everybody at the table is gonna share it.
Right.
And they would fill out this giant thing, and you just be with the tap refilling your beer all night.
Yeah.
And
then you're in that situation.
The game hadn't even started, and you're blasted. And it's like, what did I do? What have I done? And you're feeling terrible, and it's like the next day you're like, I didn't have to do that. It was not worth it.
You wake up, you're all dehydrated.
Oh God, it was not worth it. That's why these things are like 15 years ago now.
I know.
Well, not 15,
but
my
God.
10. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Absolutely insane. So that's my relationship with football.
But yeah, happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Happy Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Go Eagles. Go Nick Foles. Go St. Nick.
All right, wrap it up.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
Oh, you're excited.
Yeah, I just want.
He's excited. He did a cheer.
I'm at the point now where I'm afraid to say go Eagles without doing that because it doesn't seem like it's allowed.
I know. Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
Around here?
Yeah, that's true.
Because people actually don't even say go Eagles anymore. They walk into a supermarket and they go E-A-G and everybody joins in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Except I usually don't do that. I just did one solo.
Well, now you have to do it next time we go to the grocery store.
No, we don't.
Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Because that's the football crowd. Trader Joe's.
Well, last time that's why I saw the dude all decked out in Eagles gear was walking into Trader Joe's. Yeah. So it's universal.
I stand corrected.
All right, guys, that was that long-ass video talking about this week.
Sorry.
So thanks for hanging out.
Yes.
And if you want to see anything that we talked about, all the stuff's in the description. If you like this video, please support us on Patreon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Hook it up, man. When's the last time we had a good G.I. Joe game? That was like Commodore, like the original Commodore computer. Oops.
Listen to that.
I skipped it. No.
Oh, right, Darkseid with his hands behind his back.
I like Darkseid. This guy's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited about doing his part. I just like how he just walks with his hand behind his back. That's kind of great.